Do you think the person who stitched this beautiful, elaborate image of their village ever imagined that hundreds of years later it would be the favorite, cherished item of someone else's living room thousands of miles away? We're going to talk about leaving a legacy in this week's episode of Calendaring Happiness. I'm Melissa Ashwood. Welcome to Calendaring Happiness. This month we're building your service calendar. That's the calendar of the things that you're going to do to contribute to the world around you, to give of yourself, to make a difference. I think this is the calendar that could give you the most happiness out of all the calendars you're making for yourself. And that's because when we give of ourselves, we feel uplifted. And when we only focus on ourselves, it's very easy to get totally lost in our perspective about sort of how good life is and how we're able to do what we can do, and it's great. So when we start to give to other people and do other things, we get reconnected with that, and it's really a joy. So you can start this month's topic by going to calendaringhappiness.com/service to get this month's toolkit. Now today we're talking about leaving a legacy. A legacy is what you leave that lives beyond you. It's the thing that makes you immortal. And so it's an amazing thing to think about, and something that often we don't think about at earlier points in our life. But that's when we can have a ton of impact and actually build toward a huge legacy that when we leave it behind is something we can be really proud of. Now, I think it's a perfect topic to be discussing in front of this tapestry. You might not even have noticed that this is a tapestry, not a painting. Every single bit of this is stitched. So even the leaves in the pine tree and the beautiful wood in the temple and the fact that it looks like you can walk right into it like it's three-dimensional is amazing. This is clearly the work of a master craftsman. This is not a beginner's work. And think about all of the development this person had to go through to be able to produce something like this. And then realize that this person has been dead for hundreds of years, and yet the beauty of their work is something we are all now enjoying together by looking at it. That's amazing, and that's legacy. Now for you, and in Calendaring Happiness, I've got a tool for you called Person, Place, or Thing to help you figure out what it is that is the right kind of service for you, because we want to do things that feel like a good fit for us, where we can really bring our gifts and our interests. So we want to do things like that. And to help you think about what that might be for you, think about is your heart really in something that you could develop in another person? For example, it could be as simple as you have a killer marinara sauce recipe, and you want to make sure that your family members, your kids, ultimately your grandkids, your great-grandkids know how to make this marinara recipe. It could be that you have a place that you love. Maybe it's a public park or a public garden that you want to make sure thrives. And maybe today you see that there's a little tiny tree that you've planted, but you know that someday it's going to be a huge tree, and that's going to be part of your legacy. Or it could be that there's a thing that you want to do. Maybe you want to paint and you want to make a piece that could endure. Or maybe if that's not your gift, but you love this kind of thing, you could maybe help a museum or somewhere else to make sure that things like this are in existence and supported and can be seen by others. So as you think about whether more of your legacy is about supporting a person, a place, or a thing, write down some steps about what is that legacy that you want to leave. And then when we think about calendaring this in, we're going to be putting those steps into your calendar about what would be those things you would do if you wanted to leave that legacy and make that difference in the world in that way. Now, I love this topic. I can't wait to hear what kinds of questions you have and what this makes you think about. It's a great topic for us to dig into. Next week, I'll be back and we will be looking at the topic of mentoring. So one of the things that we can do once we know what the legacy is we want to leave is we can think about how can we really make that happen. And one of those ways is mentoring. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy starting your service calendar, and I wish you lots of calendaring happiness.